First thing I want to show you is the mounting chassis itself. This is also known as the uniport, and you'll notice that the bottom tab is centered. The top tab is off-centered to the left just a little bit. Now these locking tabs are kind of triangular on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not, but what you want to do is just press those up just enough so they clear the preamp shell. Now you don't want to hyperextend, you don't want to overextend that locking tab, or you'll run the risk of breaking it. Okay, I guess the preamp I get asked most about is the Acura Acoustic. Now this removal process will also be the same for the Graphy X and the Takamine equalizer, officially known as the N4B preamp, and also the Takamine parametric EQ. Okay, all of these are going to release the same way. Takamine parametric EQ was the first one out of the gate back in 1988, and a couple years later they revamped it and presented it as the Acura Acoustic, a wonderful preamp. Okay, let's put it in the mounting chassis here. Hopefully you'll get to hear it snap into place. I love that. Let's see if you can hear it. Nah, kind of. Okay, to get it out, top snap's pretty easy. You remove the battery compartment, and there's the top snap right there. You can see it pretty well through the battery compartment opening. Now the mystery to these is the bottom snap here in the center. Now instinctively, you don't want to put anything inside of the circuitry. You run the risk of breaking it. But in this case, it's all right. It's designed to do that. Oh, this, by the way, is the official Takamine preamp removal tool. This was a gift to me from Takamine. I use it every day, but you can make your own quite easily. You can use a nut pick. I like this. It's very elegant. You can make your own version of the paperclip tool that the old Takamine techs used to use. I'll show you how to make one of these if I remember at the end of the video. You can use a popsicle stick, or a coat hanger works very well. I'm going to use a popsicle stick. This one was flavored lime, apparently, because it works very well on these slider type units where you have to release the bottom tab through a slider control. Okay, here we go. The top tab, very easy. Just going to reach in there, lift it a little bit. Let me do that again from the top so you can see it. Just a little, not a lot. You don't want to overextend. And then you're going to reach in through the slider. If you're right-handed, you're probably going to go through the base slider. If you're left-handed, you're probably going to go in through the level control. But just slide it in there. I hope you can see this. And pop, boom, just that easy. Okay, next up, I want to talk about the CTP 1 and 2. I'll show you how you can do it. Okay, here's how you can tell. CTP2 has horizontally aligned RCA jacks. CTP1 has vertically aligned. It's the same method to release both. Okay, let's put the mounting chassis on. Hopefully you'll hear it snap. That just pleases me when it snaps. I don't know why. Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, this one's pretty easy. The bottom one, after you remove the battery tray, you can fill with your finger practically. You can almost get it out with your finger. You could use popsicle stick, you could use the paper clip, coat hanger. The one I like to use is the nut pick for this one, and I'll explain why. The nut pick is flat on the bottom, so when you put it into the access hole here, some people make the mistake of using the bottom of the access hole as leverage. They want to push down on it, and when you do that, you can make an indent there. You will mar that, which is no big deal. It doesn't tear anything up. But if you're like me, when you're playing, you look down, you get thinking about that dent there, and before you know it, you've dropped a few notes. So anyway, the nut pick with the flat bottom is perfect for this. You just put it right in there. And you notice my finger here, I'm lifting up. I'm not using the bottom of that hole for leverage. I'm lifting up. See? Pops right up there. Let me see if I can do it from the side, so you can see it better. Let me see, make sure I got it aligned. Yeah, there we go. And then the bottom one, easy peasy. You don't have to press it far, just enough to clear the shell, which is about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, I guess. CTP1 tray, back installed. TK40, much the same way. G series, you would access the top. The top now is off center to the left. You would access the top. Here we use paperclip tool on this one. Access the top through the battery compartment. Usually I put my finger through it like a ring. Lift it up, flip it over, and release the bottom tab. Alright, just that easy. The CTP3 and CT4DX are a couple of the newer preamps. I love these. These are some of the easiest ones to get out of the shell. Preamp mounting shell. Let me install the CT4DX. Now these are cool. They release, the whole preamp comes out to change the batteries. And you'll notice you can actually see the bottom tab and the top tab. So really, you can use your pinky finger to pop that right out. Pretty easy. Same on the CTP3 Cool Tube preamp. Very nice. I'll show you that one real quick, just so you know. Just pull it out. And there's the tab. And top tab off center to the left, and there it is, just that quick. The old brown. I get asked about this sometimes. What you want to do is, this is the way I do it anyway, you carefully drip lighter fluid on these metal strips, these sticker strips, to loosen the adhesive so they'll pop off. Now someone has already done these and they weren't super careful, so that these are a little bent. But once you get these, because you're going to want to glue these back on, you want to keep them as straight as possible. Now once you remove those sticker strips, you'll see that there's a mounting bolt right there. There's also one right here. Now I've seen people actually poke their screwdriver right through those strips. I'm not a fan of doing that. I like to keep things as clean as possible. But anyway, you would remove these two bolts, and this will slide right out, and you can work on the circuitry. Fun fact, that bolt looks like this. Okay, now in true Takamine efficiency, I love this. This excites me. It's the same bolt they use for the steel string palithetic pickup, which we also stock here if you were to need one. Also got the crystals. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That's awesome. We got those screws. So also the screw they use for the palithetic steel string pickup base, and check this out. Also the screw that they use to put the old pickup backs on with, the exact same one. Now that's just a great thing. Right there. Same thing, same one. Now before I forget, I'm going to show you how to make that paperclip tool. Now paper clips aren't as sturdy as they used to be, so the newer ones aren't going to work quite as well. But what you do, you start paper clip, bend the top one up, get you some long nose pliers, bend this up about, I don't know, about 45 degrees. Do you see that? Okay. Grab it right in the middle, kind of at a 90. Alright. You're going to bend this all the way around until it meets the center point. And that's a pretty good one. and clip the end. And you just made a replica of the old Takamine preamp removal tool.